PBKC is your entertainment destination for poker, table games, OTV, paddock live events, and exceptional eats. The Paddock Restaurant is perfect for meetings, corporate functions, parties, fundraising, and more. Call 561-683-2222 extension 199 and book your next event today. It's Wednesday morning. Welcome to PBKC Picks, broadcasted live from right here at the Palm Beach Kennel Club. As you probably saw, our new little intro.
Well done, Jake.
Shout out to Jake.
Mike,
what a good job by Jake.
I want to be including that, like, Emu, and Doug. I want to be like, and Doug. just throw me in there, like, somewhere.
And Pat at the end.
Yes,
yeah. So we have a very special show today because we've got the whole crew here. My name is Mike Jameson. Sitting to my right is the president of PBKC, Mr. Pat Rooney.
How are you, Mike?
I'm doing very well.
Well,
How
football's
are you doing?
over. I'm depressed. I'm officially depressed.
Knew it.
It's it. Behind Pat is Earnest Christian. What's up, Earnest?
I'm not. I used to be depressed when I was growing up, but now as you get older, it's like football. I appreciate more when it's go away for a little bit, and then by August, I'm like, okay, I miss you guys. Come back. You know what I mean? So.
Okay, behind me is Noah Carbone.
Yeah, somebody came with the noise of one of the sections we're going to talk about, quarterback playing the Super Bowl. And today is the day Jalen Hurts gets vindicated for everything that's ever happened in the past 5 years. I mean, that was something else.
So we're going to start off the show by talking about what's coming up this weekend. That's the card show. It's like everybody's hyped up right now with sports. Of course,
get your Sam Darnold rookie cards.
Oh my Lord!
Darnold,
and USC,
K9 cards, and that's what we're talking about. And then we're right on the cusp of MLB season. NBA is going strong at the halfway point. So this is a nice time to go to the card show. We also have James Spent authentication at the show too. That's where you
can dig up any autograph, anything, and bring it here, and they'll tell you who signed it. It might be nobody, but it might be somebody. Bring it in, they'll authenticate it, they'll give you a little stamp, and then it'll be worth something.
Exactly, and that's all this Sunday, 10 to 3 right here on the second floor. Now let's talk about everything going on in sports. There was a big game last week, and there was a big concert. I don't know which was bigger, but the Seahawks dominated the Super Bowl with a 29-13 win. Looking at this game, I think most of us agreed that the Seahawks were going to win. It was going to be a low-scoring defensive battle. Was it more about have you expected, or did you think the Patriots were going to put on a better game?
I did think the Patriots would, just because if Seattle had been there before and like this was their third or fourth Super Bowl, like in the last 6 years or something where if they'd been there before and sort of knew what to expect, I would have said, yeah, the Patriots are probably in over their head here. It's a relatively new team, young quarterback. This isn't the Tom Brady Patriots. So, but Seattle really, this is a new team in essence for Seattle too. So I did think the Patriots would make this somewhat of a game. And I was surprised initially when Mike McDonald did not blitz right off the bat. I thought, this is where Drake May is going to be the most nervous he's going to be is the first couple series. And I thought this is where Seattle, McDonald's going to be like, we're going to blitz the crap out of this kid and see what, if he's able to, withstand that and do whatever he needed to do. And I thought Josh McDaniel in those first couple series when they didn't really blitz him, that's when you should have got May comfortable. Throw some, just dump off passes, little slants, stuff to get him in kind of a rhythm. And they didn't do that. And I don't know if this is part of May's needing to be more mature or what, but he seems to hold the ball way too long. He seems to be indecisive, and man, you can't be indecisive, especially in a big game like this. And that's where Josh McDaniels should have been like, we got to throw little things to get him comfortable or hand the ball off or whatever. And I think the Patriots missed a chance early on to get him over his nerves, because after those first couple series, then they did start blitzing him, and it was over at that point. That left guard and left tackle, the two young guys, rookies, especially 66. I think he was hurt or something, but when you get a sack, when a guy sacks the quarterback around you, like he actually tackled, I'm like, then this game's over. You can't function as an offense if the quarterback literally does not have any time to process whatever the defense is doing. So I thought at that point, when it was like 9-0, it might have been 12-0, I thought this is going to be very difficult for the Patriots because they can't seem to get anything going. And that's a credit to Seattle, but at the same time, you have enough coaches there and things that Vrabel's been around a long time. Come up with some adjustments, do something, and by the time they did, it was too late.
It's one of those games where, like, you look at the score, you're like, oh well, it's a close game by the score, but you watch the play on the field, it never felt closer. It reminded me of the bad memory for me, of course, Super Bowl 35, the Ravens and the Giants.
Remember that?
Ravens-Giants game where the Giants, the game was, the score was close going to the fourth quarter. But it never felt like you were in the game because the Ravens defense just suffocated you. Same situation here with the Seahawks. They're just suffocating the Patriots. So one of those games where, like, all Sam Darnold had to do was just play a clean game. For the most part, he had an okay game. He wasn't really as efficient as probably like him to be, though. But what did I tell you guys on the show last week? Kenneth Walker III, MVP. Because he was the key of the game, and he won MVP. And so it was easy, honestly. The only thing I'm really, like, discouraged about right now coming out of this game is the fact that I'm not liking the rhetoric now on Drake May since the Super Bowl. Like, all of a sudden you hear these people like, oh, Drake May's overrated. And, like, dude, if you had told me that this kid would be second year in the league, will go from 4-13 first year, get a new head coach the second year, and then go to the Super Bowl the second year. Granted, we get the fact that he had the cream puff schedule and that all applies. Sign me up, always. So let's calm down with the Drake May's overrated thing. He's still 2 years in the league. He had a very solid year. He was second MVP, as we saw last week at the awards. So calm down with that. But like I said, job well done in Seattle. They deserve this. They played in the hardest division in football this year by far. They earned this, man. They really did.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack for this thing. I'm going to start by saying this. All right, Sam Darnold. He tried to throw pick sixes on the first few series. He tried his absolute best on out routes, underthrowing it in short. They should have been pick sixes. I think his first pass of the game should have been a pick six. Would have changed the whole tone. He tried his best. So Sam Darnold is exactly who he is. You look at some of the stats. They were at 40% completion rate at some point. It was horrific quarterback play. And you could be a Drake May stan, if you will, if you want to defend him. Okay, second year, blah, 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 all that stuff. Jalen Hurts, his second year as a starter, he threw for 300 yards, scored 4 touchdowns. Like, he had the second most points or third most points ever scored as a person in the Super Bowl, all those things. So you gotta perform. At some point, you gotta produce. And, you get when you put a showing like that on in the Super Bowl, you can't be underrated, so you're going to be a little bit overrated, and I think he did that. That left tackle, he did have an ACL issue earlier season. He was a revolving door. Like, they snapped the ball. The guy's just running right past him, through him, bull rushing him, anything. He had no answer for that. They didn't put a tight end or they left him on an island. Maybe because he was a first-round pick. I don't know what they were doing, but that was a disaster. The whole flow of the game is back and forth, and they talk about how great Seattle's defense was and everything. But there's also, you could speak on how bad New England's offense was in a lot of ways. They didn't seem to have a definition, but. It wasn't the best played Super Bowl in any way. Seattle, we knew we were trending this way. We talked about this on the show for months and months and months, that there was no juggernaut that could take this whole thing. Pat said it multiple times. Anybody could win this thing. This is your chance. Take it now. Seattle did, and they did. They pulled through, and they made the plays when they had to, and they got their championship. You could put an asterisk by this year for, like, horrendous football. Because it was, in my opinion, overall, not the best year for the NFL.
You probably prefer to see the Rams or the Bills in the Super Bowl at this point. But
or the Eagles.
Even Eagles.
So one of the questions that we were going to ask, I think it's already somewhat been answered. Kenneth Walker III won the MVP. Yeah. A lot of people, including myself, were like, give it to the kicker. Jason Myers did have 5 field goals. I mean, he was the one who he actually single-handedly outscored the Patriots himself, but you're not getting there without the play of Kenneth Walker III. So I think all of us can agree he probably did deserve the MVP. But like moving on to Sam Darnold.
Can I throw one in real quick?
Go for it.
Christian Gonzalez, if they won, he would have won MVP in my
agree,
opinion.
100%.
100%. He had Smith bottled up 100%. 100%.
Huge play by him. And now we're going to talk about Sam Darnold. I like, I'm not a huge fan of all of his takes, but I like watching Cam Newton sometimes, and he'll go run through the NFL quarterbacks.
I love Cam Newton.
Some of them he calls them quarterbacks, some of them calls game managers. And I think he would obviously say that Sam Darnold is more of a game manager, obviously, to come back from what he did with the Jets to last year with the Vikings, and obviously going to the playoffs, and now a Super Bowl champion. What can we say about Sam Darnold? I'm not even going to ask the question on this list. He's not a top 5 quarterback. Where do you place him right now?
Ask anyway.
I think he could become a top 5 quarterback. This is where if Sam Darnold has the talent and then the mental makeup that top 5 quarterbacks have, he now has that chance. He's won a Super Bowl. I remember when Ben Roethlisberger, the first Super Bowl he played against Seattle, he was terrible. He was awful. But he learned from that, and then the next Super Bowl, when we played against Arizona, he was really, really good. Sam Darnold has all the intangibles. He's tall, he's got a good arm, and all that stuff. But much like Noah's saying, those first couple of drives, there was one, I think it was right off the bat, there was a dude that was wide open, and he overthrew him by like 5 yards. I'm like, that's a touchdown. Yeah. Right after that, not that, and this one was harder to see than that one. There was a drag route over the middle. He threw it to the kid. The guy was 5 yards, but the other receiver broke free from his guy. His guy fell down. He was wide open for a touchdown too. Darnold's looking at him. He has to be because he's throwing to the guy right in front of him. I'm like, Sam, you've got to realize this guy just broke through and is going to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
If you take 2 seconds, that's what a top 5 quarterback does. A guy that's not a top 5 quarterback does. I got the drag open. I'm going to just dump it off and take the 6 yards. So can he become a top 5 quarterback? The answer to me is yes, because he's made enough steps now over the last 5-6 years. Where he was seeing ghosts and all that stuff. He's matriculated beyond that at this point, and now he's got a Super Bowl win. So I think that the pressure is going to be on him. But he now knows what it takes and what to do. And when he looks at that film and sees those routes that were open, if he's truly going to be a top 5 quarterback, he's going to have to start being able to hit those things now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. He's not there yet. But that usually gives you the confidence at this point to say, all right, I won a Super Bowl. Now I need to start really winning games for my team instead of just not losing them for them.
I mean, anyone could be a top 5 quarterback if they put the work in. Hell, Jackson Dart could be a top 5 quarterback in the next 2-3 years. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. And in case of Sam Darnold, we can't ignore the fact that these last 2 years, I know we got on him a lot about the end of the last year, the loss to the Lions in Week 18 and the playoff blunder against the Rams last year, and it was bad. I get it. But we also have to look at the fact that this guy in this 2 years have probably one of the best 2-year odysseys we've seen of a quarterback in recent history. So. We know who the top 4-5 guys are in the league right now. Okay, it's Lamar, it's in any order, Josh Allen, it's Mahomes still when healthy.
Yeah, that's 3.
It's Matt Stafford obviously he's still
4.
alive, and you got I guess I struggle with Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow can't stay healthy, but when healthy he's definitely a top 5 guy. But no, Jalen Hurts in the conversations. Let's relax.
Yeah,
he's in the conversation.
He won
Top
a Super Bowl.
9.
Right, he won a Super Bowl.
Guys haven't won one.
No, true.
Okay,
but Is top 5? No, he's not a top 5 quarterback in the league. He's probably top 12. Okay, I'm not even sure he's a top 5 quarterback in the conference. Look at it right now. I will still take Jalen Hurts over him right now. I will still take, Jalen Hurts. Who else? Give me some quarterbacks here in the NFC right now.
I take Dart right now.
You take Dart over him right now?
100%.
Wow,
Brock Purdy,
Matt Stafford,
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy had a phenomenal year this year when he was healthy. So it's not a knock on Darnold, but. Let's give him credit though. These last 2 years.
There's a lot.
Okay. Now you're pushing it now, bro. No, he's a really good quarterback. He's top 12 guy in the league. When we do our rankings next year, I'm sure people have him in that conversation. These last 2 years have been a very good sample to at least give him credit for that. But He's not top. He's not close to top 5
This
guy
topic
yet.
comes across my email, and I started a thread. And I was like, is somebody really, when they sent out the topics for the show today, I was like, are we kidding? And
Was it Mike? Was it
like,
Jake? Who was
the
it?
producer, I believe the producer puts it out here.
was Jake?
I
I
swear
love it.
he's really trying to push my buttons with this thing. Nobody is ever going to sit back and think for 1 second, and if you are, you're probably wrong, that Sam Darnold really did a good job in that Super Bowl. You can't ever think that. And if like, in order to be a top 5, I think when you get to the Super Bowl, you should have to do a decent job. Now, did he do anything to win the game? No, in my opinion. Do they do anything to lose the game? Closer than to do anything to win the game. What are you going to say?
There is one top 5 guy, people that you can argue never had a good Super Bowl. You want to know who that top 5 guy is all time? All time top 5 guy.
Who?
Peyton Manning.
Right.
Peyton Manning had all 3 Super Bowls, played, didn't play well.
Yeah.
All 3.
Orlowski's on there talking. Is he the number? He's the number 2 guy in the conference, and I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, did you watch this game? Forget the stats are bad. Start with the stats. The stats were bad, but then you get into the actual play. Pat ripped off about 4 or 5 bad throws he made. He missed on an out route at one point. The guy was running free, and he just overthrows him by 5 yards to the outside. And then, Collinsworth's like, well, he's protecting the ball, and he's not going to underthrow it. I think throw it to the guy. Like, you literally, your job is to make that throw on clean opportunities. He was missing wide open throws. I get, the protection and the defense and all that stuff. He had opportunities, and he just whiffed on those things repeatedly. And then we're talking, we never had these conversations last year when Jalen Hurts threw for 300 yards and a dagger for 50 yards in one play, the best play that better than Darnold or May threw in the whole Super Bowl yesterday or this week. And we didn't have this conversation. So the whole thing, I'm done.
A lot of Jalen, the fact they knocked Jalen because of the team he has around him. He has a
Did
he
you see
has arguably a top.
Did you see Seattle's defense? And anybody see
No,
that?
right.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
He has arguably a top, the best receiving core in football, arguably. I mean, it's conversation between him and the Bengals. Yeah. But, I think Orlovsky was grading Darnold not for the game, but more so the entire 2-year sample.
Yeah,
we have a good 2-year sample. It's a good 2-year sample.
What have you done for me lately?
Well, he won a Super Bowl.
Right. Good job.
Okay, let's
Sam
talk
Darnold.
about the futures from for
champion.
next season. Right now, the Seahawks are favored at plus 850. I think
Have fun with that.
That's a pretty good price. Then we got the Rams at plus 900, the Bills at 1100, Ravens 1300, Packers 1400. There's a team called the Eagles that are plus 1400.
What?
Got the
too low.
Lions at 15, Chiefs at 1500. That's a shocker right there. Then you move on to the rest. The New England Patriots plus 1500 right now, and a team that I know Pat always likes, the 49ers at plus 1750. If you were to take a bet on any team right now going into next season, who are you putting your money on, Pat?
Well, I do like Seattle again because I do think Darnold now should have a comfort level of who he is and he's part of the team and what he can do. Now, Kenneth,
Kenneth Walker?
Walker's a free agent. They can't lose
Is he
that
really?
dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
they can't lose him. The other guy's hurt, and you never know what he's going to happen when he comes back off the ACL or whatever happened with him. He's a huge part of that offense. So, and plus they're in that ridiculously hard division.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Stafford's older, but he's coming back. I think the 49ers, hopefully for them, will not be as injury prone as they've been. Right. So that's the problem for Seattle. They got to get through that division, which is really difficult. Whereas, like, if you want to look at New England's got to beat Buffalo. Miami and the Jets are going to stink again next year. So they got to hope that Buffalo doesn't give Josh Allen some more components to work with, because if they do, I would think the Bills are going to surpass New England again in that division. But the rest of all those other teams you mentioned, Philly should be back again. I know this is the odd year, even year, whatever it is, with the offensive coordinator.
Don't get him excited, Pat. Please don't do this.
That usually means the Super Bowl.
Don't do this, Pat.
So the Eagles should be back. I don't know, that division's that Dallas, the Giants, and Washington, that division still kind of should be the Eagles. The whole thing is, can you win? Can you relatively easily win your division? Because that gives you the playoff games at home, and that sets everything up. That's where the Eagles have an advantage versus Seattle. So Green Bay's in another, I think, difficult division. I think the Lions should come back a little bit next year, and you never know with Minnesota. I actually like, if you want my team for next year, I'm going to give it to you, and they're not one of my favorite teams, the Chicago Bears. Oh. I love everything that Ben Johnson's done with that team. Caleb Williams has confidence
plus 2250, Pat.
That to me is a good bet for next year.
So
value.
am I correct? Am I correct in the way the seeding works now? When you win your division, you're going to play the best teams in the other divisions when you go interdivision, right? Is that the way that shapes up? I
don't know the science.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Like the worse you are in your division, the matchup's a little favorable. Seattle's not going to have the same schedule that they had this year. If you remember, Philly had to run the gauntlet and play all the top tier. That's what happens. That's the way this thing lines up. So you'll look at Seattle and you play a division, but based on your ranking, I believe, and Pat, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you play how you finish in your division versus the other division when you go interdivision.
You play the division winners.
So now you're talking. Now you got to play with the big boys where you're not getting a walk. New England had a walk. They got the whole thing. They walked right through, and they walked into the Super Bowl. And yes, they had to win those games. But, you know, when you talk about these teams and can you sustain, that's the question. Like Pat said, you're going to lose a couple guys. And just a side note, did anybody else, Ken Walker, does anybody think he looks like he's 37 years old? Like,
he does.
That was the weirdest thing to me. I'm like, is it?
Like,
you look
like
at his
the way
face,
he looks with his face.
He's 24 years old, and his face looks like he's 35. It's super weird. Anyway, he did a great job. But you start looking at the pieces that move around, and then can guys stay hungry? Do they still want to go and do it? You have all that problem that comes in, and can they maintain that level? And who's going to go off the rails? And, you know, there's a lot that plays into it. It is hard to get back there and just do it again.
Well, you know this.
Good luck, Seattle.
No, I'll keep it simple for you guys real quick. Taking these two teams they played this year in the Super Bowl, who were both teams who didn't make the playoffs last year. The odds are New England back here over Seattle because of the environment. New England should get better going forward. They're a young team still. Drake May is a ascending quarterback, but I don't expect any of these two teams to be here. Number one, the NFC West is a gauntlet still. And as long as Stafford does not retire, which he says he's not going to retire, he announced last week, they may even win the division next year. That's how good that division is. And it won't be a surprise. So, to me, if you're looking at this right now in terms of like the odds here, look at value. You guys know I love value. I love it.
You love value.
Like, there's some great
all
value.
That value. How much value did you cash this year?
I didn't bet this year. Trust me. No, I probably should have. But no. But you look at this here. Look at value. Look at You're looking at teams that
the Giants are probably
could you
really
see
good
no,
value.
they suck. No, you look at teams that can you see a scenario and you saw the season played out. Could you see a scenario where X, Y, and Z team can play in the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl? There's a lot of teams here. I look at this list that are getting plus 12, plus 15, plus 2,000. That I can see a scenario that they're playing in the Super Bowl next year.
Who's the plus 2,000 that you like?
Denver Broncos, for example.
Okay.
That's
pretty good.
Houston Texans. If C.J. Stroud can fix this situation, they'll be fine. The Jaguars had a great year this year. Pat just said the Bears, 2,250. If Joe Burrow can stay healthy, the Bengals, 2,500. So there's a lot of good value here. I'm just sorry now. You're not getting the same two teams in the Super Bowl next year. In fact, I don't think any of these two teams make it next year to the Super Bowl.
I'm with you on that.
Because I just think the NFC is too good.
Yeah.
Philly's issues right now for me is more so internal. Can they figure out the A.J. Green situation?
You don't worry about that.
AJ Brown situation.
Don't you worry, Ernest.
Well, we have to worry about it because it kind of derails your season this year. So, but the parity NFL is so great that you can see a scenario
Clearly,
about 10 to 12 teams on this list that if they're playing the Super Bowl next year, it will not surprise me
NFL
whatsoever.
loves it. They love it.
Absolutely. We all love it.
Yeah, I'm calling there's going to be a bird in the Super Bowl next year.
That's
either
all
been a
right.
If the New
Seahawk,
York Giants get to the Super Bowl next year, would it surprise you?
You could probably get that bet somewhere. Birds.
there's going to be
You got a good coach now, and look, we had a 4-13 team last year. Make the Super Bowl this year. Yeah.
You're talking about the Giants?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's move on to the next.
And you got a coach too, a new coach also too, by the way.
Yeah, no.
Super Bowl winning coach.
I mean, we got to have something. So now moving on, we watched the halftime show. I know Earnest actually put this halftime show in his top 10. How did you feel about it, Bad Bunny?
All right. So I listen. I'm a 62-year-old white old guy. I'm a get off my lawn.
You're
guy.
white? Are you really that guy?
Is a guy like Bad Bunny going to do something for me? No. But I do. As I'm getting older, I'm trying to be like, all right, what is the NFL trying to do with this? What they're trying to appeal to, a Latino crowd, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with. Believe it or not, I'm okay with having Bad Bunny do it. And I thought the sets and everything were really cool and all that kind of stuff. My whole point is, why was virtually everything in Spanish? Just give us one or two. Have Ricky Martin or somebody just sing anything in English. That was my whole point, was just give us a little bit, because they showed it on Twitter, like the actual people in the stadium. Again, part of it was the set was they couldn't see anything and they couldn't understand anything, so they're all like. So there's no like where you're getting the atmosphere in the stadium. But that's not what this is. It's now just strictly for TV. They don't even care about the people in the stadium anymore. But here's my point. If you're going to do this, and again, believe it or not, I'm okay with that. You're trying to appeal to Latinos. Fine. How about next year let's do country music? I don't even really like country music, but go do gospel one year if you want to do it.
Whoa,
do folk
I'm
music.
okay with that.
Whoa,
that's my gripe,
do
Pat.
something
I'm with you, Pat.
just to say, all right, this is a segment of the population
Death metal,
we're trying to appeal
little
to.
death metal show, Ernest.
I'm okay if you want to really break it up, because I don't agree with doing like recycling like the Who or Paul McCartney. I'm done with all that too. But either do what Saturday Night Live used to do, which was try to get up-and-coming people that you might not have heard of, and go that route and be like, who is this person? And, maybe they end up becoming a big star.
That's the problem.
Or go really with, we're going to go to this segment next year, or we're going to go to this segment. I'm actually okay with the rap groups and all that, the hip-hop stuff. I'm fine with that. But not every year.
Yes.
I
agree.
Let's do something different. That's my whole point.
That's my gripe with Jay-Z running it. And look, here's the thing. The reality is Jay-Z's going to continue running. You know why?
He ran that?
He's been running since since
Yes,
2017.
that's right.
Here's the reality situation, though, guys. 3 of the last 4, the top 3 of the highest-rated Super Bowl, 3 of the 4 highest-rated Super Bowls halftime shows, not include Michael Jackson because he's an anomaly in itself.
Okay.
All in the last 3 years. Bad Bunny, Usher, and
is it because of the growth? It could be the growth.
Well, could be, yeah, but there was a 32-year gap, which was there was nothing of the sort in that conversation now.
Okay.
So I'm with you, Pat, on that. For people surprised when I say this, I've been griping about this for years. I wanted Metallica to play this show this year. And here's why. Number one, it's in San Francisco. That's their home base. Number 2, it's their 45-year anniversary. It makes sense. So, but the reality is the NFL right now, and Pat, I'm with you. Like, you want to see up-and-coming artists and this and that.
Isn't he?
The reality is, though, the NFL's going for broke here. They're finding guys who are already established who can bring people outside the bubble. The NFL has maxed out what they can do in America at this point now. They're trying to look outside this bubble now. And Bad Bunny, for better or worse, he is the highest streamed artist right now on the planet now. Yeah. In fact, his albums went #1 in China. Right. In China. So I mean, this is what we're dealing with here at this point now. So it's not going to change for a while. Right. And unfortunately, by the way, for the record, Bad Bunny I was very impressed. I'm familiar with some of his music too. My kids love him too. Also, I know Bad Bunny, the WWE superstar, of course, but the production on that halftime show was amazing.
It was.
I enjoyed it. It was top 10 for me personally. I have a list I've been running for the last 20-something years of top 10 halftime shows, and it just changed a little bit on the edges. Yeah. But I enjoyed it.
We discussed this weeks back about who's going to be on the show, and I wouldn't be able to tell you Bad Bunny or Bugs Bunny. Like I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But then I started listening to it, and it has that thing, and Pat says it's in Spanish, but then he's like, "Debí más foto, te cuando te tobi."
You sound exactly like him.
That's good.
Oi, and he throws all the oys in there, and everybody, and he counted as like 57 oys. But I'm like, okay, there is. If it was in English, I would probably listen to it more, and maybe I should learn Spanish. I should learn Spanish better. I took Spanish 1 and 2 in
high school.
In high school, but I
long time ago,
missed a couple of days, but I couldn't translate it. But it did. It had a good feel and a good. The filming was pretty awesome. How they did it through the crowd and they're weaving in and out. That was cool. He falls through the ceiling and he lands in the bedroom, and that was kind of cool. And they injected a lot of political stuff. Whatever, we won't get into that. But they're shooting all this stuff in there. But if you leave that out and you just pay attention to the actual production and you knew Spanish, it was a pretty awesome show.
Yeah.
The art. I'm looking for the art. The art was incredible.
There was tons of
art. And that's why
it
stood out for me is the art. And they tell a great story also too.
Yeah, Metallica's not telling a story.
Yeah,
Metallica's doing great music. That's all they're doing.
They're just gonna
what they should have done is because Green Day played the show before the game started.
They did,
and they killed it for the record. Metallica just played that spot.
Yeah, what do you think of Green Day, Pat? Did you see Green Day?
I didn't see that part.
That's in our wheelhouse.
I missed the. I was watching golf, so I missed the national anthem. Everybody thought that was good, so I missed Green Day. I missed that whole beginning part of it.
I mean, to me, it's still #1 Prince. Prince is #1.
Well, it rained. He's singing Purple Rain, and it literally rained.
Literally,
so you can't do that.
I was stunned how that was.
Like I liked a lot of the performances on the halftime show. You got Ricky Martin, you got Lady Gaga, you got appearances from Jessica Alba and Pedro Pascal and all these guys.
Mike, by the way, Ricky Martin,
he works out a lot.
He's in his 50s now. He looks fantastic.
Well,
he's still living La Vida Loca.
He's doing something right because he looks great.
He's on the Spanish sauce, whatever that is.
By the way, I'm in love with Lady Gaga. And by the way, I am officially in love with Lady Gaga.
He is on the Spanish sauce, everyone. Now let's talk about Hard Rock Bet. If you didn't get into this offer right before the Super Bowl, then you're really missing out. It's double your winnings. That's what the promotion's called. New members who sign up for a Hard Rock Bet sportsbook account and make a minimum deposit of $10, they're going to receive 100% profit boost tokens, maximum $50 bet per token. If your wager wins, the customer receives 100% of the profit boost winnings, and those tokens expire 7 days after issuance, and only one token may be applied per bet. And if you want more information on that, go to Hard Rock Bet on our website, pbkennelclub.com/Hard Rock Bet, and that's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Got to be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. Now let's talk about a sport we don't often talk about on here anymore, and that's the MLB, Major League Baseball. The season is about to get underway. My question for Pat is, do we think anybody right now has a chance against the Dodgers?
No.
Okay.
You can go on to
segment
the next
over.
person.
Segment over, guys. Next.
I mean, they've reloaded with guys that we've said this a lot. The Major League Baseball, I think, has to do something about. And I know they don't. The Yankees in the 70s, they always just outbid everybody and had all the superstars on the teams and all that. And some leagues, maybe the fans are okay with, all right, we only have like 3 teams that really can win this, and we don't care. They're the major market teams, and that's all we want, and everybody's fine with it. But I honestly believe that, and I have no issue with the Dodgers. They're doing what you're allowed to do within this system. But I feel bad for teams like the Pirates, the A's, these teams that really don't have the capabilities to do what the Dodgers and Yankees do. Mm-hmm. And to me, it just gets a little bit boring. I'm not completely against it or anything like that. But what I'm saying is I think Major League Baseball needs to try to figure out some way, through a cap or whatever you want to do, and I know that's anathema to the players, but something that you have much more of an even playing field, kind of like the NFL does, where any team can be 4-13 one year and they're in the Super Bowl the next year.
Boom.
You need to have that feeling in these smaller market teams that they have a chance to win it, and you don't have that now. The Pirates added some guys, they Ozuna and guys.
That's cute.
But that's what's that going to get them? Maybe 2-3 more
until
wins,
they
so
sell,
they don't lose
until they sell their star.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So that's what's so defeating. If I'm a Pirate fan, to go to the stadium every day and you get to see Paul Skeens and you're like, well, he's going to be gone next year to somebody else, and we're going to get a bunch of prospects who we will then trade at some point really soon to get some aging veteran that isn't going to help us at this point. It's a horrendous cycle to be in. So I don't even know. Like I said, I don't know what the ratings are, and I don't know what the enthusiasm is with the fan bases in general. I know the Pirates still do well with the fans, but at some point you got to feel like you have a chance to win.
And for a while, we were getting parity in baseball for a good while, and then the last couple of years, since the Dodgers started scooping every star under the sun, it's changed that. There's one thing that would dethrone the Dodgers. It's called a lockout, which will happen next year. So we'll see how that plays out. But again, we discussed last week on the show. It has to be, at the end of the day, the priority here should be the fans. Okay, fans want competition. This is not cool. This is not good for baseball. I mean, I'm not trying to crap on Dodgers fans here, but it's not good baseball. I'm sorry, it is. I'm glad it's happened, though. You know why? Because now this is going to force a lockout, and this is going to force a salary cap, and maybe a salary floor as well, too, also. So there you go.
All right, anybody on this panel, we have unlimited resources, right? Unlimited funds. We're filthy, filthy loaded.
We are?
Are we all not paying to win and winning this thing? Is anybody not going to do it?
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm okay. If this is the system,
it's a system.
That's what they're
Let's
doing.
Do it. I'm a
it's
fan.
not illegal.
If you're going to have rules and you could pay to win, pay to win. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Fire every single dollar you have. You're starting to see it in college football now with these boosters and stuff where they're buying teams that basically that shouldn't be winning, and they're like, what the heck is going on here? So it is frustrating. It needs to be fixed with some kind of system. I agree with that. And baseball might just ignore it for whatever. They're scared of a lockout, whatever. Forget, everybody's getting paid plenty. Everybody's going to be able to be fed and housed and everything by playing baseball. Yeah. If I had to pick one, I think Atlanta has enough with their starting rotation and some pieces they have in place, top to bottom lineup. Yeah. I think I hate to say it for Pat Tiller and Mike Jameson, but Atlanta.
I mean, like anything else in life, man.
That's the nicest thing I'll ever say.
We're going to adjust. Because on one hand, we have teams that doing what Dodgers doing. You have teams in baseball also that are doing the exact opposite. Like they're scooping revenue sharing money and not putting money into that team.
Marlins.
So Marlins being one, of course.
We're talking to you, Marlins.
Yeah, exactly. So like we will adjust. This lockout will adjust some things.
What about the Mets? Real quick, the Mets, they made some plays, right?
You're right. I'll tell you what, because they lost a lot of big guys. They lost Diaz. They lost Alonso, obviously. But they recovered pretty decently. Well, on paper anyway. We'll see how it plays out. But a lot of fans are mad about those moves because, like, we're wrong. I love Alonso. He should have been a lifer. But here's the reality. When you have a season like you had last year, you have to make changes. You can't just stay pat. Oh, well, nostalgia. No. We had a bad year last year after coming off an NLCS berth last year. No. You got to make changes. So
a team to watch in the AL. I know, obviously, Noah likes his Yankees, but Justin Verlander has just re-signed with the Tigers, and so did the Franimal, Framber Valdez. So they're going to have quite a rotation. They're going to have quite a rotation in Detroit this year.
Orioles too.
So,
watch your Orioles.
Watch them too. Now let's move on. The Winter Olympics is going on.
This is great.
You know, they planned that right around the Super Bowl. So the Winter Olympics are in Milan or Cortina, and the U.S. successfully defended a team gold medal led by a dominant performance by the quad god, Ilya Malinin. And also, as we see on the timeline, hockey actually starts today. The men's tournament starts today with Canada and USA as the heavy favorites. What are we looking forward to in the Olympics right now, Pat?
Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to the hockey. It's not going to have the appeal like 1980 did, but it because the pros are playing in it, and they've been playing sort of the same thing with last year with the Four Nations thing, and it's sort of the same guys. But it's still competition, and I'm looking forward to it. The toughest thing for me with the Olympics is, and it's not just this one, it's a lot of them, is when you're watching stuff that's already happened. That's so tough for me to get into it because you know, you can't help it. You have so many devices now that are like, this guy won, or this, you know, like, even if you're trying to avoid it, you can't help it. No. So that's the toughest part of me. You know, the weird thing is, like, I usually get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, so now I turn it on, and a lot of the events are live. But if you're trying to watch it at night and really be like, all right, now let's get into it, you know, the event's already over, so you know who won or who didn't, and that's the tough part for me. But yeah, I mean, that skater, that kid's unbelievable. The figure skater you just mentioned, Malin, his parents, both of them were like Olympic skaters. So you know, you talk about the pressure on somebody, and he was, of course, like, well, they didn't really want me to be a skater or didn't push me into it. Of course, I'm going to. That's what. You know, that's probably why they got married, is like, we're going to have kids that are going to be skaters.
Right.
So he's got a lot of heat on him, but he's one of those guys that's, at least so far, has been able to be like, oh, the heat doesn't bother me. I'm going to do, you know, I've got the talent. He does this 4-spin thing and a backflip and all these other crazy things. So he actually is very entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I like that Pat touched on genetics. I remember when I coach football and I show up with my kid and I have my kid there, and my coach looks at me and he looks at my kid and he's like, "Where's your wife?" And I point over there. He's like, "Yeah, you should have married different." He's like, "If you wanted somebody to play football." So he told me, and that's a real thing. But okay, so let me set the scene. Olympics are great, and everybody tunes in and watches these different sports. But this is my life. So we wake up, we have coffee going, and curling's on the TV. Okay, and we're watching curling. These people, they train for 4 years, 8 years straight, and they're masters of their art, and they're pushing these things around or whatever. And my wife, at one point, she looks at me, and she says, "They misplayed that." She tells me, she says, "They shouldn't have shot that there." I said, so you're telling me the people that trained for 4 years right now, you're going to tell me that they just made a bad play and you saw it and they didn't realize that and you have this figured out? But this is my life. Like, literally, she says to me, like, they misplayed that. And maybe in curling you can, because, you know, you play those games at the bar where you slide the things down on the sand and you knock each other off, whatever. But I'm waiting for her next to comment on figure skating, where she doesn't land a triple lux or whatever it is, and she's going to say, yeah, she should have, you know, rotated one more half a time or whatever. So yeah, Olympics are great from a casual viewer, but yeah.
Are you 5 a.m. like Pat is too also?
No, I'm not. I'm almost there. I'm 10 years behind Pat.
Pat, I envy you, Dad. I wish I could be 5 o'clock in the morning, just go and work out and do whatever and ease my day. I wish I could be like you with that. But yeah, I'm looking for the hockey more than anything else. I mean, I haven't really watched much. I've been
the
following
women's hockey. You see that?
Was 9-0 or something like that? Yeah.
That's what is that?
I haven't really watched intently yet. I will now with hockey not being here, so I'm looking forward to that, of course. So we'll see how it plays out, obviously.
Yeah, I'm with Pat on the coverage. Like, we know Lindsey Vonn had already gotten hurt like well before we actually got to see the video, that kind of stuff. And prayers up to her. I think she had surgery, and I think she's doing well now. But the time difference means a lot to me, and it's definitely affected my viewership of the Olympics. But now let's move on and talk about something that's right now a hot subject, and that is the PGA. My favorite tournament of the entire year was this last weekend, the Phoenix Waste Management Open. That's where they get rowdy on certain holes.
It's
and
the way it should be.
throw beer onto the course and everything like that. Do more golf tournaments need to be like the Waste Management Open to bring in new viewership?
No, and I think some of them have tried. This is one of those very unique circumstances where 16 is the hole. It's a par 3, and Tiger actually got a hole-in-one on this hole like 20 years ago, and it just sort of if you watch the video of it now, it's still crazy. Like everybody's throwing stuff, and he's going nuts, and that sort of just even elevated this hole even higher into this craziness. Like if guys hit the green and they're on the green, but it's not like quite close. People boo. It's great. And if you miss the putt, you're getting booed. It's actually it's fun. Some places have tried to do it. Actually, here at the Honda, they try to do it. But like everything else, if you try to recreate this magic that they've got, it usually doesn't work. Generally, golf is very sedate. It's quiet. It's hushed. The little clapping and all that, and that's what people come to expect. That's why this is so much fun, is because it's unique. I don't think you can really try to replicate this unless you want a completely different golf experience where everybody's yelling and screaming and throwing stuff. And I think that might get a little out of hand. So I think it's good to contain it to this tournament, and that's what makes this so much fun and watchable. But when you try to do that elsewhere, look what happens during the Ryder Cup. All these people are going nuts, and it actually becomes scary, I think, for some of the players because they're worried they're going to get a bottle thrown at them or something like that, which I think did happen at the last Ryder Cup. So you have to be careful in a way. You like the enthusiasm, you like the craziness of it, but when it like everything else, if it crosses the line and people start becoming involved in the actual game action, throwing things at the players and yelling in their backswings, then it impacts the actual outcome of it. So I think it's good to contain it to this thing. The players know this when they go to this venue. They know what to expect. But if you try to do this other places, you're just opening up to the insane people that are like, now I get to throw something at Scotty Scheffler and he can't do anything.
That's a perfect example. Jack Doherty or whatever, I'm calling you out. That social influencer kid, he's the worst. He carries bodyguards because he says stuff that he should probably get punched for. So I'm calling you out now. If you see this, Jack, you're the worst of the worst. He goes to this event to cause a scene. So he brings people. He actually brought people to yell on backswings, and he ended up getting a lifetime ban. So shout out to you, Jack Doherty. You got your can from the it's hard to do, getting canned from the PGA, but you found your spot in golf history.
As someone who's not a big diehard golf guy, though, I like it sounds good in theory to have like these events to have more rowdiness, but if you have that, you get tired of it. It's like with the NFL and the celebrating. It's okay once in a while, but after a while, it's like every play, like, come on, stop. You know what I mean? So, like, I like the fact that certain events have certain personalities. This one has that. Let it keep to that. If another one has a different, vibe, whatever, so be it. I think because you have so many different stops on the tour, I think which place should have a different vibe, a different personality, what that event brings. That's all.
Identification like that is like a nickname. You can't give yourself a nickname and force it. It has to happen naturally. Like
it's natural, right?
The dog pound or the Raider.
Exactly.
Thing,
or the genius. Yeah.
Yeah, it just
stuff
happens
like that.
by just you realize what you're dealing with, and then you get a nickname.
So the news came out yesterday before Pat has to leave in a couple of minutes. Charlie Woods, Tiger's boy, he is actually committing to Florida State University. I don't know if you've met or you're seen him live. What are we thinking about Charlie Woods?
Yeah, he's a good player. I've not watched him live. I've seen him in a couple events, and guys I've talked to that are familiar with him and familiar with his game. He's a very good player. He is not Tiger Woods. He's a very good player. I don't know what his PGA Tour possibilities are. I think going to Florida State, if you can get through Florida State and actually play on the team and compete with them, that's a good precursor to get on the PGA Tour because they're an excellent team. So that's a big step for him to be able to get in there. Now, did he get in there because of his name, or did he get in there because they legitimately believe in his golf ability? I'm assuming that Florida State is doing it because they know what his golf ability is. So I think he's got potential to be a good player. And as he matures and hits the ball further and all that kind of stuff, but like everybody else, like look at all Jack Nicklaus's kids. That's a tremendously hard hurdle to overcome. When your dad is the best golfer of all time, and now you're doing the same thing he's doing, you don't think people are going to be like, "You're not your dad." You got to listen to all that stuff and be able to somehow compartmentalize that and shut it out and play your game. If that kid gets on the PGA Tour and does anything, that's a huge testament to him to be able to overcome all the expectations he has on him.
And before you get out of here, anything you're looking forward to this weekend, Pat?
Well, we got Pebble Beach, which, unlike the Waste Management, Pebble Beach is my favorite golf course.
Beautiful.
I've always said if you had a chance to play it, it's a 6-hour round. You're playing with a bunch of goofball people that don't generally play golf, but they want to play there. It's still worth it. It's $1,000 to play it. It's still the most beautiful golf place I've ever played, and it's my favorite place to play. The golf tournament itself, specifically Saturday, is one of the worst watching because that's when CBS usually does the Bill Murray and all the goofy stuff where they're, I'm just like, can we just watch the golf? I know this is what their little niche is, where they have all the Pro-Am and all the, it goes back to the old days with Clint Eastwood and Jack Lemmon and all these people that, I just wish they would focus more on the actual golf part of this rather than that goofy part, but that's their niche in golf. And it's a shame because Pebble Beach doesn't need that. The venue itself is so cool that I just wish they'd focus on the golf. But if you're really into golf, don't waste your time on Saturday. Sunday, they usually get back to real golf coverage and coverage. So, I'm looking forward to it, but not Saturday.
Yep. Okay, well, Pat, nice to have you on the show this
Thank you
week.
guys for having me.
And we're going to talk about the card show, which is actually coming up on this Sunday. The card show, I know Noah is going to be here.
I'll be here ready to go.
I don't know if you still have your Shedeur Sanders card.
I do. It's on sale this week.
Oh, it's on sale this week.
Right.
At a sale price, at a discount price, we have a Shedeur Sanders rookie signed card.
Little known fact, Mike.
Okay.
Little known. And Pat's leaving now, and he would have heard this. I once shot 10 under at Pebble Beach.
We're talking about
Xbox 360.
Oh, I was going to say
PGA
Adventure Golf.
Tour 2015. I shot 10 under at Pebble Beach. So add that
when you
to my
said
resume.
that, the first thing I thought it was the mini golf course over on Military by High Paluxo.
No, we could do that though. Are you a putt-putt guy or do you call it mini golf? First off, I don't play mini golf with people who call it putt-putt because in Jersey it's mini golf.
Okay, it's mini golf.
Okay, good. Ernest, what do you got?
Mini golf. I never call it putt-putt.
Yeah, putt-putt, that's for the kids. Like, we're talking mini golf.
I never
This is golf, and it's miniature. Yeah, and this is
Wait, Jake, you disagree with me?
Well, the guy who's playing golf with the Frisbee is disagreeing with the putt-putt, so we can't get into it.
No.
All right.
He's like throwing something.
He's throwing a Frisbee and calling it golf, so we're all right. Get back on the track.
Yeah, we can't talk to him about that. But now let's talk about the NBA. The National Basketball Association has their All-Star Weekend. Come and have fun, Ernest. Yeah, Noah's going to bow out of this segment right here because
I got a meeting, too, with Pat, maybe.
No, you don't. No, you're staying right here, and you're just going to listen to us.
Go New York.
They've got their big All-Star Saturday night coming up. The State Farm three-point contest includes, this is a pretty star-studded lineup.
Say the name, Mike.
Devin Booker, Tyrese Maxey, Damian Lillard, and rookie Knippel.
Knippel. Is it Knippel? You tell me.
I
follow your lead on this one, Knippel.
We haven't
He's
figured
amazing.
that out.
That kid's great.
Can he go with,
and by the way, Charlotte's on fire right now. I know you're watching them.
Like we call LeBron, let's show him Khan. That's it.
Well, here's the thing. With Khan, the team's on fire. They won like 9 last 10 games.
Yeah.
I mean, so not in playoff contention now.
Did he get a nickname like Genghis Khan?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. Well, Genghis Khan's Khan, though.
Yeah, but it's close enough.
Okay.
True.
Okay.
Well, we're going to have to talk to him about that. But the slam dunk contest is not exciting. You have Jackson Hayes, Carter Bryant, Kashad Johnson, and Jace Richardson. Four people that I have no idea who
you
those
remember
are.
when they had Spud Webb and Dominique Wilkins?
87.
Like, what,
86.
What is this thing?
It's bad.
They're taking the guys who can really dunk the ball. Where is Ja Morant? Where are you, Ja Morant?
No, is the problem more so star power?
Yeah.
Or just originality?
No, it's star power.
It's
Where's
star power,
John
100%.
Morant needs to be in the dunk contest.
He's hurt.
Ernest.
He's hurt.
Still.
He's always
Get out.
hurt.
Well, okay, if he's not, like,
At least
who else?
let Mac
Who else?
McClung back in. I mean, Mac
He's not in this year?
McClung-
Max McClung's not in?
He's not in it. He's
Why?
He's not going to play in the future stars or
Is
rising
he
stars.
is he the defending champion now?
Who else?
He can't find an NBA team. He can't stick with anyone.
Who else throws it down? Did you ever, when you were kids, did you ever have one of those adjustable rims that you could drop down to like 6
easy.
feet
Sure did.
and have a dunk contest,
Yeah.
right?
Still
Isn't
to
that
this
one of the
day,
greatest
yeah.
experiences in the – we should probably do that for the show one time. We'll get the
Yeah.
rim that drops down, and you're like 6
you'll-
foot already.
you'll tear your
I gotta
ACL
get,
doing
like,
that crap.
I got to get to 6'3". Like, you could drop that rim to 6'3",
You can have a trampoline.
6'4",
That'll be nice.
And
Like a halftime show.
And we'll have our own, and Jake will produce and make a nice video out of it, and we'll just throw that thing down. I would love
You
to
will
do that.
tear your ACL, buddy,
We
doing
need
that
a
crap.
bigger budget for the show.
We do.
I'm gonna ask for some of these things. I'm gonna order one. I go downstairs. I'm gonna order adjustable basketball rim. We're having a dunk contest.
20
Pat's invited.
We need an industrial-sized trampoline, and we need a backboard and a
Because
basketball
there's no
court.
better, windmills and the 360. They were at one point they were leapfrogging and jumping over cars and like there's
Yeah.
fire.
Bring your car over, and we're going to jump over it.
Right. We
Oh,
need
all right, Blake
smaller,
Griffin.
somebody smaller, like a Miata or something for
Like
me.
a
I think the larger problem is the dunk contest is more the fact that
Yeah.
forget the fact there's no star power. That problem has been an issue for at least 15 years now.
Yeah.
The issue now is the fact that there's no originality anymore. What dunk can you see now that we have not seen already? I think the last great contest we had was when Vince Carter went nuts in 2000, 2001. So I mean, ever since then, it's been on steady
I
decline.
wonder if
since then.
ChatGPT could come up. Continue on and see if
Yeah,
he could
I
come up
wonder
with
what
a
happened
dunk for
to
me.
the dunks. What happened to the dunks to me is that like there are professional dunkers out there like Jordan Kilgannon.
Right.
He's a guy who's like a professional dunker. There's dunking shows now on TNT that I see clips of constantly.
Right.
There's not going to be a lot of originality in the NBA dunk contest when there are people that just do that for a living, but I'd still like to see some decent names in there, at least like some
be
average
honest,
good
The
players.
ChatGPT said, "Come up with the double clutch self lob reverse 540."
Jesus, you're gonna die.
You're gonna die.
That sounds somebody.
torn
John Morant
ACLs.
could absolutely do the double clutch self lob.
Torn
540?
Wow. Noah
How many
Carbone.
times is that? That's like one and a half.
Noah Carbone. That's torn ACLs.
Have an ambulance
Plural ACLs. Okay.
Have the ambulance sitting right there.
Yeah, it's
Personally-
simple. And it gives you guys start at the top of the key, toss a high self lob slightly behind you, piece of cake towards the rim, the right side of the rim.
ChatGPT
Take
doesn't
one
know
hard
you.
gather, dribble, and explode off your 2 feet. It's all right
That's what
here.
got it wrong. There's no explosion. That's
In
it.
the air, catch the ball with your right hand above shoulder level. I could do this. Immediately bump it down to your waist, mid-flight, first
Jesus.
clutch, rotate 360 as you back to basket the ball across
Broken
your
ankle.
body. Finish with the reverse 180, extra turn, making it full 540.
Nothing but that.
Done.
There's no way in the world that this is going to happen.
For the record, I've always been a bigger fan of the three-point contest anyway.
It
So
is, yeah.
I'm looking
We
forward to
could
that.
do that. That's anybody
Larry
could shoot
Bird,
threes.
Craig Hodges, all
Yes.
those guys from back
Del
then.
Curry, you name Glenn
love
Rice,
it.
you know,
All the
love it.
shooters, all the pure shooters.
Exactly.
Which I was never a dunker myself, just a pure shooter.
That's weird. That's
You were
that's-
none,
that's-
wait, hold on. You were none,
surprised by that.
wait. No, I watched my basketball. You're none of the above. You were a pest on defense and nothing
Okay,
else.
that's it?
Yeah, he just
That's
ran,
it.
He ran into everybody.
Oh
and
my
pushed
God,
them.
he was guarding me. We're talking about playing him.
And then you ask him, you're like, you just pushed me when I was shooting.
And-
he's
and I-
like,
and
have
I
you ever
couldn't-
seen the Knicks play?
and I couldn't play because like I was laughing. I'd be laughing.
Now
at
my
him.
wife's in the chat laughing because of this antics.
Well,
This
she's
is
right.
good.
She's really laughing at you.
He used to play football on a basketball court. That's what he used to
basically.
do.
You're
And it,
so
it was
awkward on
fun,
the
though.
court, but I
It
loved
was
it.
nice. Yvette said he's going to attempt it.
Thank
He's
you,
not gonna
Yvette.
walk
Only
for a
time
week.
for
That's right.
yeah.
I
Torn
do.
ACLs.
I play pickup basketball. I'm on IR. 100%.
Yeah, exactly. And let's talk about our sports petting picks of the week. I picked a
Petting?
little petting. Yeah, sports
ahead.
petting too.
What's petting?
All right.
Um,
So it's the dog show and the petting. You can
Yeah.
you can bet on that.
You see that Doberman that won the dog show?
Beautiful
that was a pretty good dog, isn't it?
My dogs, they can't win that. There's no way they could possibly win it. Like if they had a thing where if you didn't secure the garbage can and your dog had to not tear it apart, I would automatically lose.
Yeah, 100%. I got dogs like that too. I got the Heat winning tonight. I got Bam over 21.5 points. I got Ware over 8.5 rebounds. I got the under at 237, and that's at plus 900. $25 will give you $317.50.
All right, so I have this new thing, and
Okay.
I figured this out, okay? So So the Olympics are going on, so there's always opportunity here, right? So, and I'm logged out, but okay. You could bet on goal scorers. So here's what you do. You take Finland, who's like a 5.5 goal favorite. The over-under is like 9 or something. You take their top 3 goal scorers. You put them all down for a goal, and $10 with Finland's top 3 goal scorers, Mantanen, Heinz, and Aho, $10 to win you 120. So it's interesting because you're not interested in a team you don't really know a lot, but you know these guys score goals and they're going to try to get it, and they're going to literally score 12 goals. Take that bet. So we're going to see how that pans out. I have that. I'm going to review that next week. Yeah.
My turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Okay.
So
I was in the story. That's why. I'm like,
yeah, Mike goes and Noah goes, and then there's nobody else, so you would go.
Well,
next.
no, Pat.
I was so
Pat,
invested in the
what did you
story.
like?
No. So I went. As a side note to football, I told you guys I love value bets. So I looked at some of the teams that I think can really have a chance to go to win the Super Bowl next year. I'm thinking Denver Broncos next year at plus 2,000. Bet $100, make $2,200.
If you're going to do it, now is the absolute time.
Absolutely.
That team is what, Ernest?
Frisky.
There it is.
Mr. Frisky.
We almost got through it, but he had to. If you're picking a long shot,
they're better than Frisky at this
that's
point,
Frisky. That's a Frisky. Like, you should not even do like value anymore. You should do Frisky bets, Ernest. Like your Frisky pick of the week.
By the beginning of football season next year, we're going to have Frisky T-shirts. We're going to have it all. Yeah, we're going to get sued by a cat food company, but it's still going to be fun.
Worth it.
Let's talk about everything going on here at PBKC. We got February high hands going on right now as we speak. Roses are red, payouts are green. That's not cute. That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, I sign off on each of those, and the creative department does a good work with that. I can't. Yeah,
let me remind all the people out there, especially the Ben, Valentine's Day is this Saturday. It's this Saturday, guys. That's for you, especially Noah.
If you're tuning in.
Saturday is Valentine's Day.
I don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so, I'm not going to disclose my plans right now live on air because I'm going to keep it secret.
Okay. Well, you just started making
wait, no.
So
you do Valentine's Day? You do Valentine's
Day? I always
Day?
have a plan.
I don't do Valentine's Day. We don't believe in that Valentine's Day.
I believe
crap.
that, Ernest.
We do love all year long.
Yeah, they made a movie about you. It's The Notebook or something.
Yeah, good luck getting frisky,
right.
Ernest.
That's right.
Yeah, there's no friskiness in the Earnest household. Nobody's getting frisky.
Christian Friskies.
The Paddock Show's coming up. When I mention Valentine's Day, I have to mention Chris McDonald. This man is all love, and he's going to be here.
Are the tickets for that available?
There's still some tickets.
Okay,
yeah.
maybe
you bring the wife.
Maybe we're not big Elvis.
Well, I mean, you could be. The guy's pure love. He's pure romance, and he's going to be here on Saturday night.
He's great here too, also.
Exactly. I'm gonna save the last couple of seats for people who would really enjoy that.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna talk you into it. But Chris McDonald's here Saturday night. ELO tribute next Friday night.
Now I could do that.
They got a lot of good songs. Mr. Blue Sky and all the others that I forget. ELO's gonna be here. Ticket to the Moon.
The Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah, comedian Joe DeVito on March 6th. Those tickets are selling out, so you got to get tickets for those soon. PBKennelClub.com is the place to go for all those. And we have a big St. Patrick's Day party coming up on March the 17th. Ooh. Live Irish music. They're going to
have those dancers?
They're going to have the Tiernagon dancers.
Did you ever see those?
I did.
They look like they're hovering at some point. Their feet are moving so fast that they don't look like they're on the ground.
Is that Saturday?
No, I think they're
not this Saturday.
No, it's not a Saturday.
No, it's not actually. It's like a Tuesday. I want to say.
I won't be here.
Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah. But that's March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Irish music by Tracy Sands and Rod McDonald.
Cream beer.
Probably.
Okay.
Tiernagon dancers, Irish food. They got an Irish buffet, which you cannot beat, and tickets for that are also selling quickly.
Wow.
And last but not least, the card show is on Sunday. I know we've talked about that.
Noah's baby.
But that is going to be a big one, and that's 10 to 3 on Sunday right here on the second floor poker room. You can't beat it. Best show in all of town, and it's this Sunday. So now we're going to talk about our final thoughts. So what are we looking forward to this week?
I'm looking forward to the card show. So I branched out. So now I'm like in the card show, and then I'm in like the nerd realm with the trading cards, which they do some of these Pokemon and stuff like that. So I'm in there, and I have some stuff that I want to premiere for a game.
Respect for you.
You should. All those. It takes smarts and stuff, and you got to do math and stuff. Not built for you. This is absolutely not your thing.
You're right.
Did you ever play Magic?
Really, Mike?
You ever play Magic? So I have these cards, and you put the cards cards out, and yeah, it's I'm looking forward to the card show. We always like to see it. We get to see our friends like John Martin and all these guys come by, and we get to talk sports and talk a whole bunch of BS. And like, what's nice about it is that the NFL season's done, and there's really no Seattle fans in the whole world, so we don't have to listen to that day. You could get your Drake Mays absolutely dirt cheap if you're that kind of guy. Now's the time. Sam Darnold's and the sports card show, like baseball. With baseball ramping up, that's where I'm really focused on.
Yeah, it's kind of like a nice little break from. I mean, obviously got basketball, but also breaks on the corner. So you have a whole week of really no sports other than the Olympics. So I don't mind the break actually. Okay. You know, maybe it's getting old because
you're getting old.
When I was a kid, I was like, oh my god, I don't football anymore. I'm depressed. Now it's okay. Go away for a little bit. Okay. We'll see you in a couple months.
Family time.
Family time. You know,
frisky.
Catch up some content behind on. You know, watch some documentaries and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
No big deal. So I mean, it's nice. It's nice little quiet time now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to NBA All-Star Weekend, some more Olympics. We got, obviously, the hockey coming up. And I'm going to see you guys Saturday for Chris McDonald and Sunday for the card show.
Yeah, way to wrap it.
God, don't ruin it, Ernest. Have a great weekend, everybody, and have a great week. And we'll see you next Wednesday right here on PBKC Picks.
Bye.
PBKC is your entertainment destination for poker, table games, OTB, Paddock live events, and exceptional eats. The Paddock restaurant is perfect for meetings, corporate functions, parties, fundraising, and more. Call 561-683-2222 extension 199 and book your next event today.